What's going on, guys? Kyle here with geekswithgames.com, bringing you part 4 of our series for The Long Dark. Last episode we left off, we had just come into this house and we were going to take a nap, but it's only 3:30. I figured we could probably go out, do a little bit of exploring, or at least check the other cabins. I decided to completely call it a night and have my guys sleep through the night. So I'm going to check these houses nearby and just see what we've got going on in these ones. So as you guys have probably noticed, I've had kind of a running theme with this series so far that I'm talking about survival and survival situations and survival equipment and so on and so forth. And if you think it's dumb, it's not interesting, let me know. But I'm gonna keep doing it until told otherwise. And in this clip, I wanted to talk about firearms. And I know, unfortunately, this really doesn't apply to everyone. What I'm talking about mostly applies to Americans and Canadians and various European countries. I don't know all the European countries' laws, and I'm only like kind of familiar with Canadian laws, but I do know you guys can get a lot of the same stuff we can, even if you have various mag limits or restrictions. There's still similarities in what we can get. All right, let's just backpack really quick. So,
never know, could end up being useful.
In the last video, I was talking about my baby sister wanted to get a bug out bag, and in case she never needed to leave or do it for whatever reason she needed it. And I was like, I asked her, okay, how are you gonna protect yourself? And she's like, well, my boyfriend will protect me. Well, he's a nice guy, but let's put it this way: he's about 5'9" and maybe 150 pounds. I'm 6'2" and about 240. If we tangled, I would win. I mean, there's just no question about it. I would beat the shit out of him or kill him. So how are you gonna protect yourself? Now, there's a lot of different firearms out there. Oh, all of a sudden it's clear out, and we got a wolf out there. Let's see, what time is it? 4 o'clock. So there's a lot of different types of firearms out there, and it really kind of depends on the situation you're going to be in, and your location, and what you plan on using the firearm for. There's a lot of different things that go into choosing a firearm for your survival situation. Now, me personally, I always carry whenever I go camping, not for any particular reason, but I always do at least go camping with a pistol. I always have I have a 1911, which is a 45 caliber, 45 ACP, 7-round magazine pistol. And it's a great pistol. It's hard hitting, has kind of a limited mag capacity, but I make up for it by hitting hard. I'm gonna just rest for a little while and see if we can just run throughout the night. Probably gonna be hungry as hell. Yep, super dehydrated. Okay, grape soda, drink that. Now, like I was saying before, all right. Let's drink one more thing of that. The firearm that you're going to want, it really depends on a lot of different aspects. Like, say for instance, if you had to leave and you had to bug out somewhere. Let's get up at 6:20. And you had to bug out. Right? Like where I live, let's use where I live for instance. If I had to bug out for whatever reason in any sort of survival situation, and I went either east or south from where I live, I would run into the desert. Just flat desert, just nothing out there. If I were to head west or north, I would run into basically woodlands in the forest and eventually the coast. So the type of firearm you want to carry with you depends greatly on where you're going to be. Like for instance, you do not want, or at least it's not ideal to have, like say, a bolt action rifle, scoped rifle, when you're in heavily dense wooded area. I mean, anything you plan on shooting at, it's probably going to be within 50 to 100 yards. And if you're... Oh, shit! Fuck that. Oh, fuck that. I'm going back inside. Please tell me you can't come inside. Whew. Oh, he was going to attack me. Well. Shit, there's a fucking wolf outside my goddamn room. Or my goddamn house. I can't see out. That sucks dick. So yeah. Let's see. I'm just gonna... Let's see. Condensed milk. Smash this, see if we can get this open. Maybe this will help us with our dehydration. 54% was lost. Does this not help with our dehydration? No, it does a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna take a 1 hour nap and we're gonna go back outside. But say if I was to head out to the desert area, flat, open plains, no trees, you know, you can see for miles. You know, a shotgun obviously is not gonna be super useful. Now, it also depends greatly on the shooter and the person themselves. Like, for instance, I am very proficient with an AR-15, and an AR-15 is a very, very good overall weapon. It will be good in close distance, and it will be good at a long distance. So you can either defend yourself or hunt with it. I mean, it's a great weapon. But say you get like a shotgun. A shotgun is absolutely fantastic at close distances. It's absolutely just devastating at, you know, under 75 yards. Not like in the video games where, you know, if it's past 20 feet, it's just, the spread is just ungodly huge. No, it's not like that. I could easily put rounds on target with buckshot or a slug at, you know, 7,500 yards. But like I was saying, not very useful when it's a giant open field. Now, I own a lot of shotguns and I'm very proficient with them, but I don't think I would prefer a shotgun in some sort of survival situation. Now, the one huge advantage of a shotgun, though, depending on what kind of shotgun it is, like say it's just a Remington 870, which is a very standard... Am I cold? I'm thirsty. Very standard pump action shotgun. It's a great shotgun. I actually own three of them. They're great shotguns. They're very, very rugged. One of mine is actually built in the 50s, and it's just a very rugged, tough weapon. So chances of it breaking down or ceasing to function is very slim. So that's one huge advantage. They're rugged weapons, and it's really easy to find shells for it. 12 gauge is one of the most common types of ammunition you will find out there. But like I was saying, it's not ideal for longer range, and they're heavy. Like I own one that has you know, a bunch of crap on it. Like, you know, it's got a flashlight, it's got a laser sight on it, it's got, you know, mag or shell holders on the stock, and a bunch of other craziness. And altogether, it's like a 10-pound weapon. You know, it's heavy. Let's see. I'm gonna build a fire actually. Start a fire. Let's do a start a fire here. Okay, can we go behind the house? Yes. Do I have an accelerant? I do. So, yeah, shotguns are good, but it wouldn't be ideal because slow reload. Let's see, let's get the fire. Melt that. Let's talk about sidearm. Actually, no, let's continue with the main arm. Now, we talked about shotguns. Now, rifles. Now, I probably would never take or use a bolt action rifle as my primary in any sort of survival situation, purely due to the fact that they almost always have very limited mag capacity. We're talking 5 rounds usually, depending on the weapon, but it's usually 5 rounds. That, and they tend to be kind of heavy, a little more recoil than say a semi-auto, and I mean it's just slow. I mean you guys know all about them. They're just slow weapons. Drink some of this water. Semi-auto rifle, I honestly think is ideal. Semi-automatic, magazine fed, like an AR-15. Now, not everyone can get an AR-15, or maybe it's too expensive. I have one, and I have had one for several years, an AR-15. And I've also had AKs and some other various weapons. Let's get some more water, actually, while we're at it. And shitty titties. Okay. Let's eat some food. Smash that. So let's use my AR-15 as an example. It's lightweight, weighs about 7 pounds, and each magazine I have 20 rounders and 30 rounders. Okay, they don't weigh much more. They don't add much weight. And on a vest I'm wearing, I can easily be carrying, you know, 300, 400 rounds in magazines, and it really won't weigh me down that much. So I honestly think that just a good small caliber semi-automatic rifle is ideal in any sort of situation where you get a choice, or you get to prepare for the situation. Now some people might say, like, hey, what about like a battle rifle, like a FAL, an FAL? Well, those are good too. Is 308 or 7.62 by 51 or 7.62 NATO, all same caliber, is a great caliber. I have a hunting rifle in that caliber. Oh, I got fucking food poisoning, and I don't have antibiotics.
Oh,
how did I fucking get food poisoning? Oh, I do have antibiotics. And now I need to rest for 10 hours. Times it. Well, no rest for the weary. We're gonna go... I have to go over here. So yeah, battle rifle. Now, battle rifles are great. I love battle rifles, but they're heavy, and the ammunition also heavy. Now, the advantage of a weapon like an AR-15, especially in the United States, is it's so common, and the ammunition is so easy to find that if you had to scrounge places, you'd probably be able to find it, because a lot of people use that ammunition for many other different weapons other than just, you know, the AR-15. So it wouldn't be super difficult to find ammunition for it. And another great thing about it is it's easy to find parts for it. And you know, there's a lot of people that don't really like the AR-15, or say it's a bad weapon, or it jams too much, or it breaks too easily. That's just nonsense. I'll use my own as a perfect example. I mean, as long as you just keep it moderately clean, keep it lubed up, it will work. On mine, I've used the shittiest, crappiest ammo you can find. We're talking, you know, steel case, garbage Russian ammo. Oh, she is cold and sick. Yeah, the most garbage ammo you can find. I've literally had one jam the entire time I've owned my rifle. One jam. And last, let's talk about pistols. Now, the pistol, like all the other things I've talked about, is very much just personal choice. I have a 1911. I love my 1911. It's the pistol I'm most comfortable with. Now, I wouldn't exactly call it ideal. It's kind of big. It's a 5-inch barrel, and it has a minimal mag capacity. If you're carrying a pistol as a sidearm, you're on average probably going to want at least,
I think I can use this.
you know, 9-round magazine. 9 rounds is usually 12 round. 12 rounds is usually pretty good, and there's a lot of different firearms that you can get that have 12-round magazines. And if you want to go cheap, you can go cheap. Like a CZ82 is a surplus Czech pistol that shoots a 9x18 macro. It's not 9mm Luger like, you know, most
9mm
you hear of. Ooh, fuck yeah, can opener. Take the lantern. So it's always good to have a sidearm as well, especially one that has a decent mag capacity. Now, the caliber, it's kind of up to you, because if you shoot someone, I mean, you hit them in the right spot or shoot them enough times, they'll die. So it doesn't really matter what caliber it is. But I prefer to, only have to shoot someone once or twice before they go down. So that's why I stick with 45. It's a potent round. Gorilla bars. Okay, so with this, I'm just gonna check everything. Water, energy bar, painkillers. Okay. Accelerant. I'm gonna head upstairs. Cold? Cold, I'm hungry, I'm fatigued. Alright, let's get a fire going. Two hours. Okay, let's eat some food. But one thing worth mentioning is with your secondary weapon, it's always good to have something in a common caliber. Like I was talking about the 9x18 Makarov. Well, it's a good round, not huge, but it's a good round. It's not super common, so you're gonna want to stick with a 9mm, 40 or 45, especially in United States. Those are the most common calibers. That's what you're gonna find the most of. So what I'm gonna do with this now is I'm just gonna check these areas a little bit. I'm gonna warm up. I'm gonna call it a night because my guy's still sick. He's like, here's what you can do, alright? We're gonna be in this blind here, and we're gonna just wait. I'm all like, well, how am I supposed to pee in his butt?
That's the first question you should ask.